Welcome to Sponsored by Nobody. This week, sponsored by The End. This is not it. It is March 2021, and you're listening to Leaves in the Jungle, Season 1, Episode 17. In this game, we will be using the Wildsea world setting and system. I am Ian playing the Firefly, and we have...
Austin playing Zetsuyaku the Zealocrate.
Bev playing Rook the Ardent.
Dylan playing Jisun the Gao.
And Jonathan playing Gomez the Ectus.
Had to think about
Awesome.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, that's fair.
It has been a little while. What happened last session, guys?
Well, we were locked out unceremoniously, so we decided to
Kid in the
coexist,
70s.
right?
Yeah, we were told to go play outside.
Yeah.
Except we don't have a mom to have a talk with.
Oh no.
We proceeded to find an old warehouse that had been tucked up from under the eaves.
Yep.
And we raided it. We went in there. We bravely
Looted when
liberated
man
stuff.
had looted before?
Yes.
Turns out, those water spiders are... It is not a talent I have.
Oh yeah, you almost drowned.
I almost drowned. Yeah, there's a very soggy spider boy at the end of it.
Oh no.
That is not that water spider thing, that bubble thing, not a talent I have.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
But at least we got a chart so we can come back here like the rainbow map.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you did.
Good.
And we got some bits. The Delta Flyer is now the Delta Chunker.
Oh yeah, the Delta Flyer got a lot chunkier.
Yeah, we managed to retrofit it with some cargo capacity, so now we can carry a lot more people. I mean things.
Well, I mean...
Slaps roof.
Look at all the slave children we can rescue in this baby.
They're not slaves. They're not slaves.
Until we introduce the concept of freedom, they kinda are. Otherwise, they're just wondering why they're in a big steel box on the back of our boat.
I mean, aren't we all...
Oh boy. Yeah.
Long silence.
You're gonna get us canceled, and I'm not even gonna be mad. I'm gonna be like, yeah, we had that coming.
Definitely what happened.
We come back to the ship to hear a cacophony of noises coming from the deck and the door that was locked in our faces.
Yeah, and Jisun looking fairly proud of himself, I think, eh?
It has been a red day.
So we're going to pivot to what did Jisun do whilst you guys were gone? And we're going to quickly kind of montage that little storyline as Jisun had quite the adventure without you guys.
Okay, so I ended up getting a letter from a very specific mushroom friend or friend enemy. Or just enemy. Yeah. We all know the one. And he announced that he would be coming soon to challenge me once more. So obviously I anticipated a musical duel, and me and Dokus on the ship obviously is going to play drums, and I'm the singing / frying pan ham bone enthusiast. I don't know.
That's an instrument.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Spore bone? Can you ham bone as a spore man?
Why couldn't he?
Why not?
Don't be ham bonist.
Yeah.
And so two is not a complete band, and I needed at least 3 members to completely crush this man. So I turned myself to pastry, and I figured that I was going to engineer a pie bound, if you will.
Excellent. Can you give me a cooking roll for that, please?
I can. Give me a moment.
And I will give you advantage because you have time and you have resources.
And drive.
Yeah, I got.
They're called children, Ian. They're not just a resource.
I'm in our galley on our ship. I'm I'm going to use my wholehearted for the extra impact here, and it's 46.
That'll be 5d6.
Oh my goodness! Spew dice. 6 with a twist.
Nice. Okay, so you have a complete success making this pie golem.
Very good.
And what's the twist of this pie golem?
He looks just like you.
Oh no!
Just
Except
Yes.
bigger. Except
Yes.
way bigger.
And way
And-
flakier.
If any, despite his flakiness, he's probably also better looking than me.
he's got like a double of
Aw.
that Gallmeyer flakes off the outside skin layer.
He's like my idealized version of myself, where he's got like giant muscles and he's just like, like the perfect
jawline.
perfect G-Son, right?
He
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
has a jawline. That's what your
Yeah.
face would be
Yes.
like if you had one.
Yes, with like a dimpled chin and everything.
Didn't
Oh
know
yeah.
I
Oh,
always wanted a
I
job. but
Handsome Jack rendered in pie over here.
oh man,
Oh, yes.
just coming out of the bottom of that mushroom there.
So
Beautiful.
excited.
Just the kids. Who's that
Okay.
handsome uncle, Uncle G-San?
I hate him. I hate him already. Oh man, why am I doing this to myself? I guess we got to give him life.
Yeah. How are you giving this pie man life?
Oh man. I need my sheet here.
I mean, you have Myo Sanctum Rumbling. Oh boy.
Yes, the whisper.
I struggled on that. That was a
That was a saga.
Okay, so I
That's
noticed.
all the time we have.
Okay, so in my specimens at the very very top,
Yeah.
I have the iron pineapple sushi.
Yeah.
I made that what episode was that? Like episode 6, something like that. It's literally like months old and has been forgotten.
Yeah.
in my
Oh
bag.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna.
It's now rotten.
Oh yeah, so bad. Okay, so I'm going to put that through the through our distiller,
Yes.
and
Okay.
I'm going to extract its like horrible, amazing, chaotic essence, and
Okay.
then I'm going to infuse that into the core of the pie and put a scroll that is, or let's put this. What's this Saprec book of cooking?
That's a cookbook. It's a cookbook in Saprec, which is
Your
the
language.
language
Or, sorry,
native. No, it's the language native to the Ectus.
Oh, cool. Okay, so I'm going to take the
Distilled iron sushi.
Yep, I'm going to take
Yep.
that, and I'm going to infuse that into the. Let's take the Sapric Book of Cooking itself, yeah, and I'm going to
Okay.
infuse the Myco Sanctum rumblings into it, as well as the essence of the sushi, whatever it is.
So if I may, for a moment here, as you distill this iron jaw, because it was the sushi came from an iron jaw ray, if I
It did.
remember correctly.
It is.
So as you distill this iron jaw ray sushi into some kind of twisted, rotten liquid that just smells foul, like it's no natural entity would ever make this it's a pure abomination, this liquid.
This is the opposite of the mixture that made the Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah,
yes.
let's assume that I'm adding my own spores to it as well.
Oh,
Oh yeah. And so you create this liquid that somehow, with the whisper, I'm not even going to try it, but it's a mushroom based whisper, and it's a word for mushroom that I cannot pronounce. I'm not even going to try. Okay.
I got a mushroom based whisper for
Psyllium.
you.
it's actually just Button. He's
No,
just ashamed.
It's Myco Sanctum, so
My-
it's like mushroom like safe place.
Yeah, exactly.
Mushroom
So
home.
like you're infusing this vial with your own spores and with this whisper to like grow. You're almost growing a new child in this, and this liquid distilled in it is like pure fertilizer for plants. It just explodes. Like I'm picturing you're holding like a a vial of liquid that came out of the distillery, and you're like sprinkling spores on it and whispering, and it just all of a sudden erupts with like mushrooms all around it, and you quickly shove that into the pie and read out this Ectus cookbook to like seal it in there, and all of a sudden your perfect image of yourself kind of shifts and twists, and the pie starts getting a little bit of like actual mushrooms growing on it, and then each little mushroom has just a little bit of cactus needles on it as well. And
weird.
it's now a perfect version of you with some mushrooms and like cactus needles growing on it, and it's fully alive now.
Look, the Ectus do know how things bake, being from hot areas.
Okay.
Yep.
I press a bass guitar into his hands.
What is this?
This is your purpose.
He just it kind of looks at the bass guitar, and it, using its weird half pie, half mushroom, half cactus arms, starts strumming the bass guitar.
He's perfect. He said with no foreshadowing whatsoever.
That's fair. No, he starts playing the bass guitar, and he's surprisingly good at it. It's he's playing it well, or it's playing it well. Yeah.
Okay. I think then I would be quite satisfied with my creation, and Jisan would set about basically just infusing him with as much, like to the point of it being infuriating, to infuse him with as much musical knowledge in as short a time frame as possible, because I don't know how many more like hours I have until Portobello arrives to what I assume is receive the musical lashing of a lifetime.
Excellent. Can you give me a performance roll as you're trying to teach this this pie to play bass guitar? Because that's a sentence I always knew I would say.
Somehow I always knew.
Would the kids be able to like experience your teaching as well? Like a class or
Private
guitar?
father-son time.
They'd be there. They'd be watching the whole time. Like, you know, they'd probably have helped me in baking giant perfect pie man. But
yeah,
you know, someone has to supervise them.
exactly.
Who knows what sort of dubious activities children can get into if they're not being supervised?
Exactly.
They almost baked tum-tums into a pie.
Oh, whoops! So
Children, no,
We're
that's
being
not
Uncle
enough
Cheese
flour.
he kept trying to eat it before it was done. Can we? That's 4d6, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to give you advantage on this because you're not necessarily
It's
teacher.
music. It's music, not cooking. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Okay.
but I won't give you disadvantage because you are good at performance. So
Yeah. Okay. 5 with a twist.
So you're able to teach him, like he's able to play bass guitar. Like he's not a master of the bass guitar, but he's able to like keep up a little bit with you, so he's not going to ruin whatever musical thing you do. And do you have a twist? Because I think you do.
He becomes extremely overconfident in his own ability.
No, I was thinking he, like all bass guitarists, start realizing that the bass guitarist is not the lead.
Oh, of course. He's too smart. He's too smart for his own good.
He realizes you're setting him up to be a shadow.
He's becoming self-aware, quick! I don't mean the pie is becoming self-aware, I mean the bassist is becoming self-aware. We can't have that.
This is even more concerning, yeah.
Oh no, they know we just use them for that.
Yeah, well, let's go with that. That's too perfect. Okay. So now we have a sentient pie man who is in all ways just a giant, muscular, better version of me, and now he resents me for trying to control him.
What is Pie Man filled with?
Yes.
But
What's Pie Man built
with? Did we say what kind of pie he is?
He is. What did we actually have to fill him with? Oh, you're actually right. I need to give up some.
Do you have a?
I guess he's raspberry.
Ooh,
he's raspberry.
Are you giving up? You have raspberry preserves or
That's the correct choice.
Large chocolate raspberry?
I'd probably have to give up both because he's pretty big.
Okay. So he's delicious smelling, by the way.
And my one.
He is an extremely delicious pie.
Love, I mean just consume.
Except for the really rank smelling magic book in his head that gives him intelligence. He is probably an entirely delicious pie.
Oh yeah, and the weird like mushroom cactuses growing on him.
Yeah, he's a little pointy. Mushrooms. I would definitely take the thorns out.
He calls him his beauty marks.
I'd loot it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Just little sharp succulents all over his body.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
The miracle of life.
As Pie Man, are you naming Pie Man? I mean, you haven't given your child a name yet.
He's not a person. He's a utility.
The thing is that I wasn't exactly making him like I made him to be alive and play bass. It was extremely short-sighted. I was not prepared to be a father.
And things you don't understand.
Also, this is the part of the RPG where I sit there. Like I can play through every other bit of it, but as soon as it comes to having to choose a name for someone when I have the option, it's like, well, time to sit here for 45 minutes figuring out what is the correct option for me to move forward with.
Hearing the loop of the music over and over again.
Well, let's lean into that then. What you're just like, I don't know what to name you. I'll think of something. Don't worry about it.
What about the mechanic that you used to name your character?
He's Nanashi.
There you go.
Nanashi?
Yeah, it means no name.
Okay.
No name?
I was gonna go is that like Jisan backwards, but no.
Nanashi. Okay. Perfect. Nanashi the Pie Man. He's as you guys are practicing with Docus and just starting to get your band together, Portobello steps in. And he just sits down and like you guys don't notice him right away, but he's just sitting there and he's just listening to you guys practice, and you notice him when he starts chuckling to himself.
Of course, he does his usual, like, I'm here, but you don't know I'm here until it's too late sort of thing.
Yeah.
I look at him with absolute fire in my non-eyes.
Yeah. He looks back at you with fire in his non-eyes.
Just two expressionless mushrooms. You can't tell if we're staring.
Still a
like,
better love story
we know
than
that we are. Like, I'm staring you down, and he's like, I'm staring you down, and both of us, like, to anybody else is like, what's going on here?
It's like two golf commentators in an argument.
Literally, the children just sitting at the table, snacking on the leftovers of pie. What the hell's going on?
Yes.
All right.
Well, so you got my challenge.
Of course I did. Now we're ready to show you the most rockin' act this side of the Wildsea.
Well then,
he said with no knowledge of geography whatsoever.
What is the name of the reach?
This reach?
Yes.
This is you guys are currently in the reach of Gomez's home, Top. So the reach is Tree. I don't know. It's Top in Tree.
Yeah.
Tree's fine.
Yeah.
Just needed a name to the place.
Yep. There we go. Yeah. Portobello looks at you. Well, I'm ready to be amazed if it's something you can do. But I mean, look at the three of you. This is ridiculous.
I look up at Nanashi, and I'm just like, and then I look back at Portobello, and I'm just like, kind of give him like a what do you like what shrug? You know what I mean? Like, what could you even say? Like, he's like, I did my best. He's basically perfect.
It's fair. Nanashi harbors your resentment for Portobello, by the way. Since he is your child, he burns with the fire against Portobello as well.
Some things are just passed on regardless of bloodline or whatever. It's like an infusion of my soul, you know?
Yeah.
Nothing like a generational vendetta to connect father and son.
Vendetta.
Amazing. Perfect. Well, as you perform this epic band performance, I'd like you to roll perform for me. But I am going to cut you twice on this because Nanashi will keep trying to take center stage.
Upstaging.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. Okay, so, and no advantage, so just a 46, okay.
No, 46 cut twice. So you drop the 2 highest.
No, 3.
Oh, excellent. If I may.
Oh, yes.
So as you perform, like you're doing well. You're singing, you're dancing, your moves are on point, you're looking good. Even Docus is managing to kind of keep up as best as he can with his forearms on the drums, flailing wildly.
He's hitting pots and pans in the kitchen.
No. And
nailing it.
but
Don't forget about your arm.
Yeah.
yes, you do
I
have.
was just doing like a permanent rock salute in the back.
Well, it's not a thing.
It holds my stage lighting.
Yeah.
It just holds a lantern behind me so that we all glow.
Excellent. So yeah, you are able to.
Tum-Tum's
Like,
been given a small smoke
You're
machine.
looking good, doing stuff, but Nanashi, he every time you like go to hit a high note or a low note or just go to hit that like perfect
Money note.
like finish shot,
Money note.
he like steps in front of you and he like hits his guitar to play a note and he like deliberately messes up a solo or something, and yeah, so he's trying his best to outshine you.
This showboating is unacceptable from anybody but me.
And as you say that to him, he goes, "No, Dad, I will defeat our nemesis. I will win. You cannot contain me here." And he like runs at Portobello, like charges him with the bass guitar like it's an axe, like he's gonna hit him. And
Oh my.
Oh, no.
what are you?
Well, I'm just gonna kind of just like... I actually just crossed my arms. No, hold up. Hear me out. Let's see how this plays out.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure where the third arm fits into this. Literally.
It's I've got my arms in front crossed, and then the third one is like rubbing the rim of my mushroom at the front, kind of as though it's like a chin rub. You know what I mean? It's just like,
Yeah.
But it might possibly be jealousy of the fact that I gave a chin to
like feeling your lack of chin and like
to Nanashi. Yeah,
maybe I should get some work done or something.
He's got that perfect Greek god physiology, right? So he does have that perfect chin.
Yeah, maybe I should talk to Gomez and see if he can do some modification.
Encrusted
No,
forever.
not ever. I thought you were kind of more of like a piercing expert.
I mean, yeah.
He really gets to the point.
Bullseye.
Yeah, no, as Nanashi and Portobello start battling it out, fighting and like throwing stuff and hitting each other, Portobello gets a few good hits in. Nanashi with his spikes gets a few good hits in as well. And then Portobello just gets him one good and slices off his left arm. And Nanashi turns to you and goes, "Father, you could have helped me, but you waited. You were on his side all along." And he just runs out of the ship and like jumps into the waves and starts running on top of the waves away.
My son.
Right as we were mooring up, we're like literally pulling
Yeah.
up the ship, and we just see this like
one-armed
gingerbread.
high cactus mushroom with a beautiful jawline just into the distance, crying about father.
Did anyone else see the gingerbread Adonis?
I'm like chasing him out onto the deck, like with his arm in tow, just like, don't forget your arm. Be home for supper.
Gomez is like, who's the hottie?
And why did he smell just so intoxicating?
I'm sitting there with like this gooey raspberry, like super buff arm, cradling it, just like, no, I've lost everything.
Scrap jumps off our little skid onto the boat, goes up to it, sniffs it, and just starts licking where all the berry juices are dropping out.
Oh God!
Yeah, are we gonna talk about where that guy was during our party week?
It's an excellent question.
Is that dinner? Did you make it?
Is that why he needs to come home for dinner? Are we going to eat him? Also, why is it to him? Why alive?
I'm just like, I'm crushed. I can't respond to any of their high energy banter right now. My soul is destroyed.
Just out of curiosity, as I see this Adonis run away, is my ghost sight picking up on anything?
He's definitely spooky.
He's like, no, because he's now a living entity. Like it's not ghost sight based.
Okay.
But good call.
The soul is inside now.
That's just I'm just watching that more perplexed now that I can't see something, and that it is just, in fact, a living pie.
Yep, living pie. That's a good
Yep.
way to put
Just
it.
kind of put them like,
And
so what you doing?
I made life. I made life. What's up with you?
We did not.
No.
We found a cool place, but I want to know what your story is.
Aren't you a bit young to be creating life on a ship by yourself?
He wasn't by himself, and now I'm more concerned.
Hey, let's not shame the guy, all right? It's perfectly natural.
Is it? That was a pie man.
I just like I look down at the arm
that is half
in response to Gomez, and then I'm just kind of like, I'm going to interlace my fingers with its fingers.
As you interlace your fingers with its fingers, the pie, the shell of the pie starts to kind of crumble, and you're left with holding a pie tin, and etched in the base of the pie tin is a recipe for life as a pie. It's heartbroken, lifeless pie, and I'll give you that chart.
Oh my!
I begin sobbing and eating the pie. I have no choice now.
Papa G-san, I don't feel so good.
It's okay.
No.
I feel like he'll either heal and become more powerful than we've ever imagined, or he will die out there scared and alone.
Aww.
What if he's
preferably somewhere in the middle?
With the left arm gone, he can't frets. You can't do that. I mean, like, I know some bassists who just like get so bored that they don't even use the right hands. They just kind of like hit it hard enough with their left hand so that it makes notes. Mm-hmm. He can't do that.
Well, he could do that if he played lefty.
Yeah.
But
he could be a lefty slap bass.
I pat you on the back and say, if he's anything like you, he'll survive.
Become
better and more flavorful than before.
Is Portobello still there?
Portobello leaves, and there's a note saying, "This was not what I wanted."
Portobello will remember this.
Portobello will try to forget this.
A little bit of both.
I look off into the empty edge of the Wildsea, and I'm like, they grow up so fast. You know, he's like, he looks strong, but inside he's just so crispy. You know.
I accidentally lean
on
I get it. It starts playing Viva Forever. I'll be waiting.
I'm gonna pick up Portobello's note and read it, and I smile with satisfaction for the first time since all of this happened. It is the only satisfying part of this, is that this is not what he wanted, and his dissatisfaction fuels me to live another day.
Okay.
That's amazing. Perfect. That was wonderful.
And then we confer about what we found.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys talk over. We're gonna scene swipe as you guys travel to the fire.
So usually whenever we try to like make life on our own, we just do it in our own quarters. You didn't have to lock us out for that.
Well, I mean, I don't want to walk in on anything.
Yeah, in your quarters.
How are the children?
Did they watch?
I just like gesture at the galley. It's like, this is my room. Like, this is my room more than anybody else's room in the ship. Like,
they not only watched, they helped.
Suddenly noticed
of
there's
course.
like a cot in one of the shelves. Like, you know how like when you open a bunch of shelves in a kitchen, it's like, you know, like they're all kind of like it's
instead of spices where there should be spices. Yeah, that's why I have a spice rack, is so I can sleep in the cupboards.
Right? Like, you know, like the cupboards where, like, you know, like they're little doors. They're all divided, but like if you were to go inside, it's all one connected area, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's
exactly
a cot
correct.
in that.
Yeah, it's all an illusion.
Really
the three
nice,
doors is just to throw you off.
It's a really nice setup in there. Like, it's a nice cushion with, like, you know, like little decor and a reading lamp, and like it's really cozy. I just imagine
it's basically a tiny opium den. Let's be real.
Nice.
Probably sans opium.
Nice.
Excellent. So we're gonna, as I say, we're gonna scene swipe as you guys long journey kind of travel all the way to fire, or the fire, which is a large fire in the north. It's, I mean, to encircle it, to go from one side to the other is a week, so it's like 2 weeks to do the full circumference of this giant fire. It's massive, and at random intervals, there are little towns with barely a dozen or so people who their sole job is just to try and keep the fire from spreading. The whole reach around this area are burnt trees that have hardened into like a black, almost metallic surface with not a leaf in sight. And like looking down over the edge of your ship, you can just see down into the abyss that is the ground. Like it just gets darker and darker because there's no leaves, there's no nothing. It's all just burnt ash. And yeah, it's kind of a terrifying reach. There's instead of like rainstorms or leaf storms or other kind of storms like that happen on the Wildsea, there's ash storms. So like hot ash will just like tornado fly at you and different things. It's a nightmare here.
I feel like I need to do something because I feel like bees are not going to like that kind of environment, and that wax is going to start melting.
It is hot here, but it's not like, it depends on how the wind is kind of blowing. Like it gets a lot hotter certain times when wind is blowing in different directions. But yes, the bees are not comfortable here. That is a thing.
I'm wondering if I need to use a whisper. Would that be overkill?
Maybe like the ship will take some damage, so you can use a whisper to kind of protect the ship, or you can let the ship take a little bit of damage kind of as you travel through this area.
I don't want the ship to damage. I'm just well, no, it's like, okay, I'm gonna whisper a light rainfall to cool off the whole ship. Like to have like a permanent while we're in this area, is that just kind of like there is small little whispers of clouds above every ceiling and surface, and it's just creating like, I mean, like the stuff like dries pretty quickly, but just like, you know, like when you're like in those cities where it's hot all the time and not from here, but like sometimes you'll be walking down the sidewalk and they'll just have like those
it's a dry heat. They have a mister.
Yeah.
No, exactly. I was just about to say, you just like the ship is in just a little bit of a mist as you guys are kind of coming in.
It's pretty humid, but you know, like my hair can take it. I don't know about
excellent
forearms. I just forgot his name.
Oh, Docus. Docus is looking. He's looking fluffy.
Yeah, him and Scraps. They're just kind of like, "Where's Joe Fudgy?"
Oh,
I'm having flashbacks to diving down in the warehouse.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh boy. So you guys pull up to one of these little outcroppings of like ships kind of mauled and smashed together.
Like settled outposts.
Yeah, like a settled outpost with, as I say, like a dozen or so people. And there's a tree there. You notice, because like you guys came up to this and you've talked to a few of these little places on your way. And this one seems to be the largest, so maybe it's like 3 dozen or so people. But you notice at each of these little outcroppings, there's a tall shank there that actually is still covered in leaves and other things. And they've drilled into it these hoses and are just like water's just pumping out of these tall shanks at all times. And they call them hydrangeants.
Thank you.
Now we're done. We can go home. It was good game, guys.
The whole campaign was leading up to that moment.
Pun quota reached. Check.
We did it.
Done.
All right, everyone. Good game.
I was No.
Congratulations.
Do they like fill up because their tops are like above the heat layer or something? Or like, do they draw it from like the root bases?
They draw it like, you guys won't know this, but actually no, you guys might, because Drock said that they were on a river at one point, which you guys don't fully know. Like, he described it, and you guys still don't fully understand what river means. But, like, primitively, you guys understand that there's water down there, and these things are just, like, soaking that water up. And, like, creating a mist around the tree, and keeping this tree and a few of the trees around it alive. So it's also constantly in a bit of a mist, and then they're just pumping water at the fire nonstop. Yeah.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
Is there a place to moor?
Yeah, you guys can pull up to the edge of the tall shank, and they have like stairs going up to this grouping of houses in the tall shank.
Well, this was a nice experience. See you later. Like, let's move on. Oh. I whine sadly.
Don't worry, it's probably going to be fine.
He's had a rough couple days.
He seems...
Would landing here have the passive in the distillery finish?
Yes. What do you guys have passive in the distillery currently? Oh, you have too many flowers. So, you have the... what would it be? It would be pure...
It would be a perfume, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be pure perfume. So one of you can take the resource pure perfume. Whoever wants that.
I'll take it.
Okay. Go for it. You can add it to your character sheet. Pure perfume. And then you guys can throw something else into the ship. What is it? The distillery. If you want to throw something else in the distillery.
What do we have?
Because you guys have a bunch of resources. So
We could put scraps in it and get a pure scraps.
oh no!
I'm just picturing, you know that like Bugs Bunny cartoon where the cat goes in the dryer and just comes out floofy, like floating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not to like hurt Scraps, just like just like give him a little bath in there.
My best offerings are I still have the large sack of nuts, which has probably kept just fine, and we could probably make like a nice nut liqueur out of them.
Ooh.
Or I have shiny delicious pollen, and we could probably make some kind of like high quality liqueur out of that as well. Because it's already shiny and delicious, so it would be like the best liqueur.
Yeah, it's got 2 positive tags
I don't
on it.
have the specimen,
We just
but I
drink
imagine we could roleplay getting honey from the bees pretty easily and make mead.
Oh
yeah.
Damn. Make some shiny delicious mead.
Shiny delicious mead. Shiny
Okay, so I'm hearing
shiny delicious rainbow mead.
Flowers we've had on the ship.
So, shiny delicious pollen is going in the distillery, and that will be done later. And we'll make some tasty mead for that.
Do we also get montages for like healing and stuff?
Yes, I am going to give you guys a montage now as you have reached this village or whatever outpost, and you can decide how to use that montage. If you want to talk to people, if you want to go around asking questions, what kind of things you want to do. But you have a montage, so go ahead. You can also heal and do stuff like that too. That's fair.
I would like to heal if possible.
I need to heal, but I also need to fix this ship.
Yeah, I could also. I could take a thing to fix the ship as well.
I will also say, and this is a little bit metagaming, so I know we're going to get tons of haters for this comment, but this or next episode are the last episode of the season kind of thing, which means when we start up season 2, I'm not going to have you guys super injured. Like,
That's right.
You guys are going to kind of scene swipe your characters clean because there'll be a time jump between season 1 and season 2. So, as much like, if you want to do some role playing and like some interesting stuff about your characters, go for it, like healing wise and whatnot. But if it's just doing it to mechanically do it, don't do that.
Okay.
Fair?
Gotcha.
First of all, can I have a whisper, please?
Yes,
Sheaf
you do.
of 1,000 Stories triggers, because this is a new port.
Yeah, you can have the whisper, water beneath, because you have knowledge of the fact that there's rivers below here.
Excellent.
Nice.
That's a good whisper, actually. Yeah.
Yes, I'm super
really
excited about using that one.
Water element isn't something you can just generate freely up here.
Yeah.
And then let's see. What do I want to do with this?
We'll also get another whisper because Stargazers, but
Yes.
wait on that unless it matters.
I can throw that up here.
Actually, I am empty on whispers, so
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we all are.
Not
Give us
me.
magic.
We need. I have a mini.
I need magic to live.
Magic must defeat me.
Okay, what can I do? I don't actually have the heal skill.
That's not a
Should get
D20.
I have heal skill, but
It is.
I have the heal skill. I may actually use my montage to train my heal skill to level 2, or start a thing to do that.
And I'll put the whisper in the notes that I have for you guys. There's the whisper, gold, watery eyes, and you guys someone can take that whisper. There's also some random salvage that was in there from the other episode that you guys can start divvying out. But yeah,
Yes, I would like to start the track for learning to heal.
oh, okay. That
I went ahead. I wrote the
whisper. Oh no!
I wrote the whisper down on my sheet, but if anybody else specifically wants it, I will give it to them.
no, you can have it.
Okay.
go for it.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, Austin.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just what would you say me healing is?
You
Just
healing?
mechanically, because like spider
Um.
armor plates.
Yeah. So you healing mechanically, I see it as like just being able to heal your, like, maybe you wrap silk around some of your injured spiders or something, or maybe, I mean, if you want to get really crazy with it, the colony breeds and produces more spiders.
Oh
or
yeah,
maybe
we would just slow off the dead ones.
I mean, or your
Or a
character's
bunch
all
of
about,
tiny casts.
yeah, tiny casts, or your character's all about meeting and making friends. So maybe like collect spiders along the way and just add them to your colony.
That's
Indoctrinate
conceptual
nearby
growth.
insects.
Yeah,
You're a spider now. What?
yeah.
You're
So
part
maybe
of
you're,
CP.
Sticks its little
Yeah.
things into its neck like a vampire. It turns into
yeah,
a spider.
maybe you're all sorts of like bugs and insects now. Like as you get more damaged and like heal, quote unquote, it's just you making friends with other small insects that are joining your hive mind.
Indoctrinating them.
Whispering to the insects, "You are what eats you."
Yes, so I'm gonna use the montage or the minor milestones starting the wave,
Oh yeah,
and I'm going to start to learn how to repair myself because apparently I don't do that well, and I can't rely on these guys always having time to take care of me.
fair enough. Okay, yeah, you can start the healing track, or yeah, the heal track, and mark one box off on it. What else is people doing during this montage?
Yeah, I was gonna work on just getting better at healing.
That's fair. You guys, yeah, you
can
guys
I-
do need.
Do I just do it, or do I have to like say I start the track and then later on use another montage to end it?
You have enough. If you want to like fill the track, you can, because you have
Yeah.
enough milestones. So yeah, you can just do it if you want.
Okay, I shall.
Says the
Perfect.
man who passively heals if it's sunny out.
Yeah, well,
Now
this
we
way
can heal you guys.
Yeah, like I just heal on my own, and then also I'm like, hey, let me just let me help you out with that.
Get you like a salvage Hello Kitty Band-Aid there.
Mhm.
See, I'm totally
that's what we
going with
keep-
that idea, Ian. I am a multitude of different. I was a bunch of spiders. Now I'm mostly spiders and some other
Jerry's
things.
a caterpillar.
Nice.
There's a mantis in here, a moth, you gnat,
It's like when they lift up the log in Lion King during
Ooh.
the Hakuna Matata
the
section.
little cream-filled kind.
I like the crunchy ones.
Oh
You'll
boy.
learn to love them.
Oh
Yes,
no,
on the
It's like
T-shirt.
a fat Chelicrae is just full of chubby spiders.
Just the fat pulsating
Just
grubs.
a bunch of tarantulas.
Actually, didn't we already see the grub Chelicrae?
You
did.
did,
Caterpillar.
yeah.
Caterpillar.
Caterpillar crop.
Oh yes, that's
Chelicrae.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, they were a cool guy too. They gave us water that healed all wounds.
Super water.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
we definitely scrubbed that one out early.
Yeah. That's fine.
It's okay. We can't always be using the ultimate heal potion at the right time, especially when we have no idea what it does.
To
Exactly.
people.
Probably was really tasty though. I think I'm gonna train Brace.
That's fair.
It's a good skill.
I'm gonna start it with "Nice to meet you, I'm Dad," because my urge to protect my chillins is probably my my primary motivator, and then I'm gonna throw in Hambone Overdrive
Yep.
and probably Sneaky Fun Days.
Nice. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I remember everything that I've been through, both with Portobello and the kids, and I realized that I have to kind of like get my shit together here, and I train
Nice.
on how to like Muay Thai block stuff with my mechanical leg.
Especially after the Tum Tums got kidnapped.
Dude, yeah, I need to harden up a little bit here, and actually, we can't all be all fun all the time. The days of the party boat being so party are coming to an end a little bit.
Only party in the off times now.
Business up
Nice.
front, party in the back.
That's right. We're a mullet crew now.
Nice.
HMS Mullet.
That's excellent. And
I mean, having a ship idea now.
Stop blowing holes in my ship ideas.
Firefly, would you mind putting a line through starting the wave? I don't know how to do that.
I can do that. Yeah.
You stand up in a crowd
I
of
know
people
you struggle.
and go, wee. That's how you start the wave.
And Rook, what are you doing during this montage?
I'm gonna use my major milestone, become queen bee. I'm just tinkering away at stuff in the engine room, like fixing what I can, but mostly just tinkering with my toys. But while I'm doing it, I guess I cleaned out a part of the beehive, just doing some maintenance. And at one point, I found like the actual queen of the hive, and we just sort of are like non-vocally bonding a little bit while I work, and just kind of showing her how I do things, and she's kind of showing me how she, guides the hive. But it's a very like low key, just kind of, she's dancing there, and I'm kind of like vibing with it, and I'm like, I think I know what you're saying to me. Do you want to see me take apart my, and clean my, I don't know, my grapple gun, and just kind of like, that's how that works. And it's kind of like a machine, which is kind of like a hive, and we're bonding, we're vibing.
Show her the dance of your fast fingers.
Exactly. And I'm gonna start the track to fuse some of my aspects together.
Ooh, okay. Nice. Okay. So that'll be I believe that's a 6-track, so you'll be halfway there.
Whoa. It's living on a prayer.
Nice.
What are you attempting to fuse?
I'm going to do my volt rail and my grappling hook.
Oh my god.
Yeah!
That's sick.
Right? I remember like, oh, what can I, like when we first talked about
Electric grappling punch.
aspects, I'm like, what can I fuse to? Oh my gosh, yes. So basically, I'm Batman with an electric charge. But also, I'm very much not Batman. Like, I try to do the, like the dramatic pose and like go away before somebody, like somebody turns around, makes a comment, turns back, and I'm trying to leave, but it's like I'm just like carefully lowering myself over the edge, but my foot is stuck, and give me I'm just, let me get my puppy.
You don't quite have a hang on the descension method, so you're like,
yeah, just like, ka-dunk. Oh my gosh!
The last 6 feet you accidentally let go and you drop. You gotta jump to grab it.
Amazing. Okay, so as you guys finish up your montages, some of the people on this little outpost start coming down to your ship to see, as you guys are setting up and anchoring and doing all your stuff. Yeah,
we're still shrouded in mist, right?
And
our party lights look amazing.
Yeah. You're adding to the mist that's already here on this, because as I say, the trees around here are covered in mist because it's a hydrangent. But anyway,
I love it. But do them all you want. I think it's genius.
Thank you. So yeah, no, the mist is, as you say, the lights on your ship and all the different things. It's looking good, and people are starting to come by and just check you guys out. And one of the people who comes by will yell up, "Hello, greetings, travelers."
Hi.
Hi there.
Just all sticking our heads out of windows. Hello. Like we're the opening of Beauty and the Beast. Bonjour.
Yeah, just popping our heads over the railing.
Dead
like,
language.
Oh, hey.
I pop out from underneath the crow's nest.
What brings you here?
Scott is just next to them, panting and smiling. All of a sudden, Why are we
What
here?
Westburn is here?
Yeah,
I have no idea either.
You guys are here because you got, I know it was a while ago, but you got a letter from Drock and the rest of the crew of
from the male
original
whisper
crew.
spirit.
All right.
We're here to
And
save Drock?
Yeah.
Let's go. Now. Let's throw the anchor down and let's get off the boat.
I remembered we were here to save Drock. I couldn't remember how we were here to save Drock.
Yeah, you got a letter from because you sent a letter to Drock with the Whisper Spirit, which I don't think we remembered to actually roleplay Drock getting the letter, because he was supposed to get the letter. Or no, because
it wasn't very extensive.
No, because I don't think we did, because Drock was supposed to get the letter when he reached the top of the mountain. Because you guys, last time we saw Drock and the crew, they were going down that river cruise.
And then we got the letter saying that they had found a river and they were going to follow it.
Yeah, you got a letter saying that they found that they were on a river and then they went up into a cave or something. So yeah, so he did get the letter there, and then he sent a letter back saying, yeah, they found a river underground, and then they found a cave that was leading up to the surface. So you don't know where that leads, theoretically. Yeah. So you know Drock is alive, you know he's somewhere in this area, and you know somewhere on ground level there is a cave that goes somewhere.
We're in search... Okay.
All right, we're in business.
Right.
Okay.
So, hello, kind sir. Hello, kind sooty sir. We are in search...
Shake some of the soot off of him. Hello.
We are in search of our the last members of the owners of this boat. Our friends Drock Sheltree and his crew. We have tale that they were in a cave system. And we've been led north after chasing the behemoth that ate them.
Yeah.
The Leviathan that ate them? What type of Leviathan? Like, it's terrifying of a Leviathan eating your friends. I'm very sorry to hear that, but
they're fine.
Glad they're alive. That's they're in this area? Where do you know where? One of the outposts? I can send word to the other outposts and see if they're there.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know. We've never been here before. We just know that they're in this area.
They found a cave system.
A cave system? Like he points to in the distance a little ways, like away from the fire. There's some like mountains and stuff. He's like I mean, we've explored, like there's towns on some of the mountains and whatnot. And he goes, we've explored the mountains pretty thoroughly. There's no, like there's small caves that go into the mountain a little ways, but there's no cave systems.
I point down with extreme, like, gravitas. Like,
wait,
down.
Your friends were on the floor?
I nod meaningfully.
I don't think I've ever known anyone who's been on the floor before. That's like you hear rumors, and there's always that one guy after a few drinks who's like, I've been to the floor. And you're like, of course you have, sure. But
you're champion, Hawkeye.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about myself. Why would I lie? And I mean, if you can think of anybody going to the floor and living, I mean, Drock's pretty high up on the likely list.
We have heard rumors of Drock and Illudan and Nikatak and Rekatap. They are pretty legendary people. So I guess if anyone's gone to the forest floor, to the floor, they've yeah. Oh wow! But you say they found a cave on the floor?
Mm-hmm.
That's where you'd find them, right?
Yeah, I guess.
After going down a river system.
You're throwing a lot at me here. This is... What is a river? Like...
Oh.
That's a good question. We were hoping you would know.
But water and on the ground.
Okay. This is... kind of takes a moment to process. Okay. So the mountains here, I mean, theoretically, they go into the fire and out the other side. Like, it's a whole mountain range here. And so maybe there's a mountain inside the fire, but if they're inside the fire, nobody can survive inside the fire unless you listen to, like, the drunkard rumors that there's a lost village of fire people who eat and breathe fire.
That sounds awesome, and I totally believe that.
That is so metal.
I catch the eye of Jisun.
My non-eyes widen dramatically. I'm on board 1000%. I'm like, fire as an ingredient? My world is being widened.
I'm getting my rage coat. I'll be right back.
Yeah, Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, staring at the wall of fire, and then back at him. I am wistfully remembering getting drowned.
You ever wanted to reverse drown?
No, that sounds. You ever want to rapidly dehydrate, then combust?
My God, reverse drown.
You ever heard of what Nero did to the Christians? Wait till I walk into the firewall.
Oh boy.
You're gonna blame yourself on this.
He kind of looks at you guys and he goes, "Yeah, no, there's rumors like the really crazy drunken people. They'll go off about how, one day when we pushed the fire back as far as we could, they saw a creature eating and breathing fire and like attacking them, and they're all crazy though. That's if you stay on the front lines fighting the fire too long, eventually you go crazy. It's the heat. It drives you mad."
I mean, yeah, that's obvious. Dragons aren't real.
Oh.
Yeah, he nods.
I just kind of look sad a little bit.
Me too.
Sorry, everyone. Dragons aren't real.
So far.
Stop saying that.
I mean, like, I on one hand want dragons to be real, but I also want them to be real somewhere else. So it's like, 50-50. Because, I mean, like, I love dragons, but I really don't want to encounter one right now.
They're more.
I just kind of like the idea that there's
fun to imagine, really.
Mm-hmm.
I just like the idea that there's so much stuff, but just dragons never happen. It's kind of like it's like leprechauns and Buffy.
There's definitely lore and myth like dug up from the pre-Verdancy of like creatures that breathe fire, and that's like the most terrifying nightmares for anyone on the Verdancy.
Dragons are like the one thing that's the one mythical creature that every culture thought of. So it's not a stretch that we would too.
Oh yeah, no, you guys, not only did you think of it, but there's also texts pertaining to dragons from the pre-Verdancy, and they've kind of fused more into like the boogeyman kind of territory, because again, people who live in a forest that catches on fire really easily, what's more terrifying than a flying fire-breathing creature? Like it's absolute nightmares. So yeah.
Plus, there are a chance.
There are also actual ruins full of treasure down there.
Yeah. So
we may wish to speak to some of these drunkards to get some of their expertise.
Yeah, this guy sounds like he's talking like very specific stories as though he's really experienced these events firsthand. So like I would be surprised if he himself was not the drunkard, but like he at least knows him personally.
It's amazing the information you can get from the town kook.
This guy will introduce you to one of the other They call themselves water people because they spray water at the fire. So
Very creative name.
Waterers. Yeah.
Anyone else got a twist for that?
They're not actually made of water.
The waterers, they call themselves. And yeah, he'll introduce you to another one that's like kind of grizzled and older.
Ooh, perfect.
And they're sitting there. They're already like half done a mug of whatever they're drinking, and there's a few empty mugs beside them.
Is this like an Ectus, an Ardent?
This is a... What is this?
What are
this is... Oh, well then, if you want to get, racist over
I was
here...
thinking philosophical, but okay.
How tall are they? How green are they? And how pointy are their ears?
This is an Ardent.
Okay.
I whispered to G-Son not to flip drinks like last time.
I nod at him. It's cool. I got this. Yo, Hydro homie, save some for the fire, would ya? Haha.
He looks up at you, and he just slowly puts his drink down, and you can see like fear cross his eyes as he's like, "The fire takes all. It won't save any of us. Why should we save it?"
But you're literally trying to put the fire out. That's kind of killing the fire. We try. I got it. Okay, that took me a minute. What are you drinking? I'll have some.
Yeah, burning to death and losing everything. Am I right? I like pull up a seat beside him.
You pull up a seat dad style where it's like, the back's in the front.
Oh yeah, straight up Riker style.
Nice. He finishes his drink and motions to the barkeep to bring another round. And they put drinks in front of you guys. And he looks at you. So, are you new hires here? Come to laugh at the crazy old man?
No.
It depends. Are your stories funny?
No. If you have any sense, you'll leave. You'll leave and just let it be. It'll do what it wants. We'll never beat it. There's too many of them on the other side. Too many of them.
As we continue to sit there, I just kind of look to the rest of the guys and I'm like, well, that answers that. We have no sense.
I'm gonna lean in on him. I'm gonna lean on him, and I'm gonna take my ponytail, and it's gonna go around, and it's gonna grab him by the back of the head, and it's gonna like pull us close, like forehead to forehead. And I'm gonna whisper to him, and I'll be like, "I need to get inside the fire."
He just looks at you, and like you can see just fear in his eyes as he's like, inside.
I say, if you scream, I will break your neck.
We're just all kind of looking at him like, whoa!
Out of the corner of his eye, I'm like slowly just pouring my drink into the drunkard's drink to top it off.
Just what? Why? What do you want? What
we want is none of your concern, old man.
You want to go?
I turn to him and I say, "What do you want?" And I want to scrutinize on that, scrutinize.
Okay, roll scrutinize.
Man, we turned into evil pirates like right away.
It's all a performance.
Parenthood.
Whoever is the farthest back, Gomez is like, are we mugging this guy? What are we doing?
Can I use sharps on this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
and then
fair.
also, do I get any bonuses?
No. Because you guys came in here half-cocked. You didn't fully have a plan about talking to this guy or mugging him or what you were doing.
Half-cocked 6.
There you go. Scrutinizing him, he's terrified. Like he's.
But I asked him what he wants.
Scared.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
What does he want? He wants you guys to leave him alone.
That is correct.
He doesn't want to be here anymore. He doesn't want to be anywhere near you guys or anywhere near the fire. He's giving up.
Okay. So I kind of give like Dusan a look that's just kind of like back off, just a smidge, just a little intense.
I look at her with hate in my eyes,
and I just kind of give him like, I know you hate me, but I'm trying to help you.
No.
I flip her the bird with one of my free arms.
Moving on.
I talk to him and I'm like, how do you get through the caves? How do you get through the fire?
Wait.
There's another side. You know about it. Tell me what you know.
I just looked at him and I'm like, do you want to get away from the fire?
Yes, please. I don't want to be here anymore.
Tell us how to get in the fire. Then when we leave here, we will take you wherever you want to go.
You'll take me? You'll take me away from here?
Wherever you want to go.
Free of charge.
We'll even...
I like let go of him, and I'm like, yeah, of course. Why not? Why wouldn't we?
I'm like low key,
why do you think we're bad
in
guys?
the back of my brain. I'm like, I really hope that we do get out of here one day, because if we don't, I mean, off the hook.
Yeah, no, he'll look at you guys a little bit and kind of take another. He like shakily takes a drink of his drink.
I give him that we're friendly and trustworthiest smile.
Kind of looks at you. So one day we were pushing the fire back, and we managed to move it, quite a ways back, and there was a bunch of us. We had whispers, and we like someone had like called forth rain, and someone else called forth a torrent of water, and I don't know how we did it, but we pushed it. We pushed it so far back, and I was in the front, and I used a whisper, cold as ice, and I charged through into the fire to try and destroy it, to try and beat it, and that's when I saw them. There were so many, and they were there. I fell, I almost fell. I caught myself at the last minute. It was just a drop, and they were sitting there on ladders with eating the fire and spewing it back out, and there's all around them just fire, and they didn't care. They were laughing. I swear they were laughing, and there was a city of them, all of them breathing fire, and the mountain was aglow with the light of the fire. It was fire everywhere.
That sounds awesome, but like also horrifying. I get it. I get it, man. Hey, listen, you want some water? Let's get some water. Let's hydrate you up a little bit for round 2.
He has like shakily like spilling the cup as he drinks out of it, takes a sip of water.
Nice, good cop. That's awesome. I'm gonna remove myself now that I've like bad copped him, and Gomez is like all buddy and he's like letting him in. I'm just gonna like vanish from the scene a little bit here.
So like how far in did you have to go? Like just like distance wise. Let's say you could just go through the fire. How far are we talking?
Maybe a day. Maybe a day and a bit.
All right. Don't like it, but all right.
It was. I mean, depends on how far we push back. If we can push the fire back, then it gets closer. But we'll never win. They breathe fire. They're demons. They're something. They're cursed. It's gonna get us all.
Hey, let me worry about that, all right? That's kind of my specialty.
You just kind of give them a look that's like, really?
But our friends are... We might know people who are stuck in there. We got a post ghost who brought us a letter, and so we gotta get in there. Can you tell us how this works? Do they just push it in like waves? Is this just like a back and forth kind of thing, so we can just kind of wait out for a bit and wait for the push to go, or how does this work?
Yeah. It comes in waves. It depends on how the wind's blowing. It seems, sometimes we're pushing it back and the other side is losing, and then they're winning and we're losing. Yeah, you could say it comes in waves. It's never ending. It never ends.
All right, I get it. But how is it right now? Are you all in the winning side right now?
You roll a scrutinizer sense, or any of you can if you want to, but because I see you don't have any detection skills.
And is there anything to add to that, or is just scrutinize?
Just a scrutinizer sense.
Okay.
I have urban exploration as an aspect, and I have veils.
I have a 5.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna go with the urban exploration if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to mark it, you can recognize an old Ectus buddy from your hometown who just happens to be here. You know?
Okay.
Like an old retired firewalker or something? Fire warrior?
Yeah. So
Alright, like I was going to use it as like an advantage, but I could also do... I also had that in my pocket too, of like actually marking it.
Yeah, if you want to mark it, you can... There is one of your Ectus buddies here.
Okay, yeah, I'll just go ahead and mark it and just get a helpful... Or
that's fair.
Get an advisor. There we go.
Yeah, no, you like looking around, you start to actually notice this place a little bit more because you guys kind of just burst in here and not kick the door down, but like almost kick the door down, and like came over to this guy's table and, as you say, just like sat down and started like interrogating him. And it's funny because most places you'd think that you guys would have been noticed for doing this and someone would have stopped you because, oh boy, that's not nice to do. But everyone seems to be pretty drunk and pretty happy around here. Like they're all in a really good mood, so it's almost like they didn't really notice you guys.
So there's a total Harry, did you put your name in the goblet of fire moment.
No, I didn't want to be anywhere near the fire. I just told you.
Adventures, just Fustro dawing through the door and immediately berating and physically assaulting an old man.
Yes.
You guys are the heroes.
Who said that?
Remember, we agreed we wouldn't be pirates, so we're not pirates.
We said we wouldn't be pirates. We never said we wouldn't be criminals.
Oh, crazy.
I don't believe in labels.
Especially when those labels are mean to me. They disadvantage me in some way.
And mark me for arrest.
It's not what he knows, it's what he can prove.
It's amazing. So yeah, you guys looking around, it's pretty happening in here. It's lively, people are excited and having a good time. And yeah, Gomez, you notice one of one of your Ectus buddies stumbles by you, and he's like an old fighting or sparring buddy from the fire pits. And yeah, he like stumbles over and he like bumps into your chair a little bit and kind of recognizes you as you recognize him.
Whoa. Hey, Florent, what's up?
Oh, Gomez! How you doing? When did you come to town? We're fighting fires over here. It's crazy. It's like fire wrestling times 1,000 in here, and we just drink all day and punch fire all night. Like you would love it here. I knew you'd come one day.
Yeah, good time too. I pulled out my hate cloak, declared a forever war on someone, and well, we're making a stop here before we get that going. It's happening time, am I right?
Yeah, like you noticing he's wearing his hate cloak, and all the other Ectus in here are also wearing their hate cloaks. Like
so
those that have them.
How's your forever war going?
It's as I say, man, it's the greatest. We just all day we drink and all night we punch fire. It's just it's wonderful. We've been pushing it back. We're so close. I can taste it. We're almost at the center, and then yes.
Well, that's good because we got to get to the center.
Oh well, you should come out with us tonight. We're gonna really teach this fire a lesson. It's gonna it's so good.
Okay, you keep describing the fire as a thing. Is it actually alive? I mean, just because that could happen sometimes.
Anyone else feeling bad for the fire being bullied by this Chad?
Dude, I'm sitting here trying not to laugh my ass off, and I'm failing. I'm just
Chad.
Dude, touching this fire is awesome. Just so you're like, no, please. Dude, I want this guy in our party so bad.
We need a Chad fire puncher so bad.
We need to
make
bonds with him.
Have we got a forever war for you?
We need to get 3 bonds so he'll be our friend.
Nice. Yeah, he's just like, oh no, the fire's not a real thing. Like, I don't think it is. It could be. Does it matter? Like, we get to punch it and beat it and just, yes. So much victory. He's clearly drunk and like slurring every other word.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, and like stumbling around, like as he's like talking about fighting the fire, he's like throwing punches in the air and like stumbling around, like, yeah.
Probably accidentally hits Gomez in the face.
Oh yeah,
specifically his face tattoo, and Gomez is just like, yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, like he accidentally hits you, accidentally hits one of the other like people. They just punch him back, and it like they're just everybody's having a drunken like fun time, which is yeah.
It's like, oh, is this a drunken brawl happening? No, we all like each other.
Yeah, it's like a mosh pit. It's like a drunken mosh pit.
It's like the drunken, pub songs going on. Everybody just like linking arms and got the beer and back and forth. Ha da da. I don't know. Somebody started playing Piano Man, and now they're all like crying, but like love crying.
Yeah.
The song is so deep. That's me.
And then the old "we didn't start the fire, but the fire keeps." And it's just
Billy Joel montage. Somebody chimes in with the lyrics to "Uptown Girl," and it's like, okay, we're digging this.
They only have so many CDs from pre-Verdancy, okay?
It's just best of Billy Joel here. We've been playing it for the longest time.
Yes. But yeah, he invites you to punch fire with him tonight.
Deal.
Amazing. I've also already forgotten his name, so I hope you wrote it down.
You had a name?
Florent?
Yes. Florent. Yeah.
I remembered because it sounded like the country from Princess Bride. No?
Florence?
There you
Florent.
go. Yeah,
there we go.
It sounds like it.
That's a real country.
I know, but it's the one from Princess Bride.
Yes, the country that only exists in Princess Bride.
I, an adult person, am suddenly like, yes, of course it's from the
real. It's only in movies.
Actual planet. It's not a made-up country.
It's not like my cousin lives there or anything.
At least not shaped like a boot. It's only on TV.
Oh,
amazing.
It's Italy. Wait.
Excellent.
I knew it was a real place.
Florent invites you guys to punch fire tonight, so I assume you guys are going with him.
I mean, I guess, yeah. What else are we gonna do?
I would really like to confer with my team how to become fireproof, like said fire punchers. I'm all for fire punching, right? Don't get me wrong. I
love a good fire punch.
Back in my day, I loved me doing fire punch things, but I don't do fire punch things no more, so...
Every time I try
fire punch before, I need new gear.
They pull me back into fire punching.
Yeah, so imagine like I've never fire punched before, which I have, but imagine like I haven't.
Florent
I don't have any gear.
And he just gives you like this big hug, but he drunken falls on you sort of thing.
That's pokey.
And he how drunken people like give hugs.
Regretfully, yes.
Yes, yeah. Like we've all been there. We've all been the receiver and the giver. Don't lie. So anyways, he like drunken hugs you, and he's like, "Don't worry about it, my little fireless buddy. you'll be fine. We'll put you in water, I think, or we'll give you a bucket, and you'll do fine. You're great. You're beautiful." And he's like petting you.
Yeah, like the face pet, but it's with needles.
Yeah.
Oh no! Do you know how long it's gonna take to put that back?
And yeah, like as the sun, you guys, I assume, just kind of drink the evening away.
Yeah, Gomez puts on his face petting gloves, and eventually will pet somebody's face.
Excellent.
Whose it is up to them.
Yeah, you guys get absolutely destroyed drunk and ready to fight fires as all water.
Someone on either the left or right of me gets more drunk than the others because they have my portion.
That's fair.
I'll take it.
Awesome.
And then all of a sudden, like a noise starts playing, and yeah, the we didn't start the fire, it just starts like amping up louder and louder as like everyone goes out onto
Marilyn Monroe.
as they all like hop onto a ship that's it's a retrofitted fire truck. Like it's like a fire truck from pre-Wildsea had come up, and they like retrofitted it with like chainsaws and more hoses and all sorts of things. And they have this like giant hose coming off of the tree. Like from the distance, you saw these hoses coming off of the tree, and there's like a few smaller ones, but there's also one that like the opening for the hose is probably 10 or 15 feet in diameter. And it's just attached to this fire truck that's like plowing forward as everyone's on it, just cheering. And it gets up close to the fire, and then they kind of turn it on, and it just like shoves the fire truck back like 20 feet as the pressure of this water shoots forward, and everyone jumps off the fire truck and starts running, like wave walking over to the fire with like hoses and buckets, and there's a few just actors punching the fire because they're just too drunk to know that it doesn't really help, but whatever. And yeah, it's a crazy
So where's
time.
my safety bucket?
Well, so since we're all so drunk, whoever's operating the hose is not an Ardent. They're like, "Look at me, I'm an Ardent," and next to them, an Ardent is laughing and is like, "It's totally what I do."
next, I just picture next to them an Ardent's actually just peeing too, and it's like, yeah, that is what I'm doing.
Go, man, go. And I'm just standing there like I was drunk a second ago, but now I'm just like a moment of pure sobriety, just staring at them going, for real.
Look at me, I'm an Ardent. Look at me, I'm the fire hose.
Yeah, it's oh boy, it's a thing.
It is, isn't it?
Florent comes over to you, Zitzi, and he puts his arm around you, and he passes you a little like it's a kid's sand bucket, like it's shaped like a castle, and it's like half full of water. And then he like also sloshes some of his beer in it because he doesn't realize, like, he's grabbing water and putting it in it, and then he grabs his beer and puts it in it, and then keeps putting more water in it, and then he goes and just grabs a glass of water, starts to drink it, and he goes, "Where'd my beer go?" And like wanders off to go find his beer and punch some fire.
So I look at the bucket. I look at his drunk ass trickling away, and I sigh. I just pour it over my head.
Excellent.
Are all the little Spider-Man's drinking his
nothing better
down?
I pat you on the back.
It's staring into the fire. You know what? Maybe it wouldn't be the worst thing if I just ignited.
And yeah, you guys can be given like super soakers with like water tanks attached to your back. And
I get
like
fucking bucket, and these guys get super soakers.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Florent said you were, or you told Florent you were a fire puncher, so we assumed that's all you needed.
But I also said assume I didn't have anything.
He assumed, well, you know, he was drunk, and you were talking to him a lot, and he was drunk, so yeah, you got a bucket. A guy comes by and fills your bucket with some sand, and then walks away.
I don't. What do I do with this? Stare at it. I guess I could eat it at something.
Okay, I'm gonna go play Super G Sun Sunshine here for a bit.
Amazing.
Anyone else?
Are you using the hose or the cannon or the propeller one?
Yes.
Yay!
Amazing. So you guys start fighting fire?
Yes.
Yep.
I imagine we have to.
I mean,
Excellent.
yeah.
I will use my bird to give us tactical data as I chuck little handfuls of pocket sand fire that gets too close.
Also, can I say that I'm using my tool belt to just mod the crap out of a super soaker?
Yes, your super soaker is
like how people
it's going
mod
3 times the distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's like 3 times
could strip
the
the skin off somebody who's not careful. Kind of a
yeah, exactly.
Like that's not for children anymore, kind of a thing.
You've added a motor to it and turned it into a pressure washer.
I put my sand in her water so it starts cutting through the burning trees, just chopping them down.
It's amazing. Yeah, you can use your bird. Are you marking it to gain knowledge?
I will learn a secret.
Okay.
Sending it up.
Sending it up. The wind is blowing in your guys' favor. Like, it's blowing towards the fire, so it's not blowing smoke and stuff back at you guys, which means your chimeric amalgam is able to fly actually over the flames and stuff before it gets too hot. And it doesn't quite understand what it's seeing, but it definitely looks like there's something different not too far away, but it can't get any closer. But there is something changes, especially with the airflow and the air currents, as it goes a little ways out into the fire and then comes back to you.
How far away would that be from our position?
Like a few hours walking.
So I'm going to orient the firefighters in that direction.
Okay. Yeah, they're very easy to orient.
I see the heart in the distance, and it's calling for them. It called them pussies.
Oh no!
It called their spines.
You're the pussy.
Limp.
You just hear all the ectos make this whoa sound. They'll declare their forever war.
Yeah.
Gomez isn't though, because Gomez hasn't declared a forever war on this fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Wookiee life debt, but less stupid and a lot more scary.
Yeah.
They all start attacking.
Sending off, and I tell them that.
Yeah, no, they all start attacking the fire and giving it all and really going at it and more cohesive because someone not completely hammered is directing them. And yeah, they're pushing the fire back. Yeah, there's a lot of fire in front of you guys, but you're managing to at least hold it off a little bit. Gomez, now is your moment to shine if you want to do anything.
Let's see. I do have a chart to find. I could find shipwrecks and disasters.
Well, I thought you were just going to straight up run.
Punch the fire.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
I mean, because you are technically immune to fire, right?
I am that.
Yeah.
So, well, I was thinking I'm immune to fire, so I could just go into the fire and be like, oh, hey guys, there's this wrecked ship that I'm going to use to activate the fire. Or to fight the fire.
Activate the fire. He's turned traitor, boys. He's joined the fire.
It just gets a little bit more flamey. Fire's been activated, bro.
The fire will remember that. I'll roll strike against the fire.
Okay. Roll away.
Okay. I'll use my iron for determination.
Yep, as you punch fire.
And can I use the fact that I'm like, can I get +2 advantage because I am immune to fire?
You're immune to fire, and there's a bunch of people like spraying hoses around you. Yeah, you get a +2 advantage.
Excellent. Fours with a twist.
Excellent. So if you don't mind, I got the twist for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So a 4 is a complication. So that you start just punching your way into the fire, and you realize after a while that you've gone into like not a berserker's frenzy, but like you were a little more drunk than you thought you were, and you've been running and punching for like a few hours now. And like looking back, you can kind of see people, or you can assume that's where people would be, but you can't fully, like, you're in the fire.
Yeah, I've gotten separated.
Yeah, and like you manage to just keep punching forward, and you're on the edge of something. Like, it's hard to tell because the wind's blowing this way, so it's smoky, but you almost, like, similar to that person in the bar was saying how they almost fell, you almost fall. You're decent at, you don't have wave walking, quote unquote, the skill, but like everyone on the Wildsea can at least move through the trees to some degree. So you're not, when you fall because there's just not a tree there versus when you fall because you slipped. And this is you almost fell because there wasn't a tree there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like there's like a sheer drop, and you can actually start, like, as the breeze blows, you can start seeing a little bit of it. And yeah, there's just a sheer drop all of a sudden.
All right. Well, it looks like I found the heart. Let's see if I can find some dragons, I guess. He looks back, and he does call back, but like he probably doesn't hear anything because he's pretty far away.
Yeah.
And it's loud.
Yeah. You can faintly hear their music in the distance.
Does my bird see him on the edge?
No, he's that little bit farther. Your bird, like, kind of knows where he is because, like, your bird was following him. But as you get closer to the edge, the fire is just too hot, and there's smoke too much. But like, your bird knows a rough area.
That's good. That means I can go right there because I know, because that's literally 1-to-1 vision. So I'm be like, he's over here. He disappeared over this direction. Instead of being like, well, he's eaten by the fire. Ave Maria.
Who can say where the road goes?
This mushroom pie goes out to the Ectus.
Excellent. Yeah, no, you're right on the edge. And we'll come back to you for a minute as because you ran there, which took a few hours, as the rest of the group like dawn almost starts to break, and people are slowing down and kind of winding down. They're done. They want to go to sleep. They're starting to pack up.
Our boy's still on the other side.
I was be like, how far away are we from him?
He's been gone a while, like a few hours. So who knows how far away?
The fire's going to fight its way back if we go. We're probably so close to him, guys.
Yeah, I grab.
Have we been gaining ground still?
You've been gaining some ground, but as dawn starts to break and like light heats up, you're just holding ground now.
Guys, we can't give up. I know there's got to be a way that we can keep fighting. You just got to stay. We got to recover Jisan at least. Not Jisan, Gomez.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. Does anybody have any whispers?
I just kind of like, I look Have the other Gao or not Gao Actus,
The other Actus?
yeah, have they fully left or are they leaving?
Everyone's like slowly starting to pack up and pack it in, like they're tired. Like
Pack up, pack it in. Where did we get that? Maybe
what is it? Florent?
Time to drink.
Like,
Jump around.
like Florent.
You know what?
You know, like
That's kind of perfect because like I feel like I'm just like we if we're so close we can't just pack it up, pack it in now, or maybe we can, and I find a way to get that music playing. I don't know how. Maybe just through the art of whisper, because I'm gonna whisper an epic party. And I'm gonna yell at the other actors, be like, "Guys, the fire just called you a pussy again." And
somebody in the background's like, "Fire can't talk."
Throw like a
we're still gonna.
That guy specifically
we still don't like
works
it.
with the fire. Throw him in. That guy who talks, throw him in.
Yeah, someone in the background, fire can't talk, and someone else, you shut your face. That fire called us a name.
And I just start playing Jump Around as loud as I can. I don't know how. I think it's through the power of the whisper. Our ship can just be heard through the distance playing Jump Around.
Yeah, no. Docus and the children like pull the ship in closer
The light
and
is
start
coming
pumping
through the
music.
mist. Yeah. They got the woofer through the trees.
Yeah, and
yeah.
The
so long as it's 14.9 seconds or less.
I also
now it's a fire punching party.
pull out my chainsaw Nana, and I just kind of like brandish it like a spear sword, like onwards into battle, and I just start like hacking at dead branches and blasting with my water boomstick on the other side. And
amazing.
Yeah, I'm just like, and I just kind of give the guys a look like, what? This is all I got. I don't know what else to do. Our friend is in the fire. Please help me. I am improvising here. I do not know how to do this. But like feigning confidence with the guys, but just kind of like looking at my crew being like, please help me. Please stop me. I don't know how to stop.
I wish to use Hex in conjunction with a Whisper.
Okay.
Because I want to use Water Beneath.
Yeah.
But I want to do it in a way where I can more directly manipulate the water.
Okay. Okay, so roll Hex.
And
so either... Yeah.
What I'm thinking is their machine that connects them to... Like the pumping machine that connects them to the hydrangent.
Yeah.
Is actually... is going to be weakened from the heat, and it's like the ground beneath is going to collapse, and it's going to fall into like this massive pool of like super pure ice crystal water that's close by, and that doesn't take as long to travel, so the water's faster and more efficient, and they just get like a second boost. Just tons of like cartoon style bulge up their hoses as it just explodes out.
Okay. Yeah, roll Hex, and you can roll with advantage on that.
Right.
Nice bulge, bro.
It's the only time a human's going to say that, or someone's going to say that to me in a positive way. So we're going to go Tides, and my Hex, and then advantage?
Yeah.
Okay. And... There we go. 4 with a twist.
4 with
4,
a
1,
twist.
1.
Okay. I'm gonna get back to you because I have something for this. If that's okay.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm gonna get back to you, and we're gonna go back to Gomez.
Okay.
So Gomez, do you climb down or what? Like you can looking around, you can see that there's some like scaffolding set up around the fire, but like nobody seems to be on it right now, or nothing seems to be on it.
Okay. Yeah, Gomez is going to try to find his way to the scaffolding.
Yeah, you can make it pretty easily over there.
Yeah.
And that
because he's like, all right, there's obviously something over here. Like it can't just be empty. That doesn't exist.
Yeah. And then are you making your way down the scaffolding like onto ground level?
I mean, if there's nothing else there, either that or he'd just try to follow the scaffolding.
The scaffolding seems to go kind of like around the whole perimeter of this, like the circumference of the inner circle here.
Okay.
So it would take a lot to walk around. Like, you can walk around it a little bit, but after walking a little bit, you can clearly see that it's going to just keep going around and around.
So it's meant to go down then.
Yes.
Okay. Then yeah, he'll walk around the circumference a little bit and then be like, all right, it's going around something. So let's try to find a way down.
Yeah, it's scaffolding, so there's like stairs and ladders to get down. You make it down pretty easily. On ground level, like as you kind of come down the scaffolding, the smoke starts to clear a little bit because the air pressure is different, lower, and smoke rises. And as you kind of come out of that like hazy smoke, you can clearly see there's houses and stuff built along the side of what is clearly a mountain, but you can't see the top of it because it's just covered in smoke.
Awesome.
And yeah, there's things in... Well, you don't know they're in anything, actually. You just see things, like very shiny things are moving around. And they're humanoid.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's gonna keep climbing down, and I don't know, maybe wave at them if they see each other, but otherwise he's gonna mostly focus on just getting kind of like to them.
Yeah, they do see you. And they start like, when they see you, they start panicking and like freaking out, and then and yelling at you in a language you don't fully understand. So I'm going to get you to make a language check.
Okay.
And you don't have... Thonic is an ancient human language. So because you don't have it, you roll 2 dice and cut 1. And that's how zeros work, if I remember correctly.
Okay. And I guess none of my aspects would work. Force determination, logic, wit, and planning. Shadows, ciphers, and secrecy. Yeah, ciphers.
Oh, you don't get your edges if you have a 0 in something.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, you only get your edge on trained skills. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, so it's 2 dice cut 1, which is worse odds than 1 dice, which is why.
Yeah. Well, I got a 6.
Oh, wow! Double 6s.
Wow.
Nice.
It is in the Discord.
Excellent.
But you don't get a twist, so I guess that sucks.
Yeah,
I've been robbed.
They start looking at you and start yelling and talking, and you still can't understand them. But then one of them comes forward and starts speaking Losao, not fluently, but fairly well. And they're like,
maybe.
Oh,
well, maybe they speak Saprek or something. Like maybe the crew that we're looking for, whose names all just fled my head at once.
Illidan, Drak, Nikatak, and Rekatap.
Yeah, like maybe Drak and crew like taught them some bits of other.
Yeah, that's
a proper language.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Is one of them, because like clearly Drak and them couldn't communicate extremely well. So like they've been.
I guess it would be Losao. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they start speaking in like a broken Losao, but like enough to understand you. And they're like, another. Hello. Who are you? Are you a friend of Drak's and Illudin's and Nikatak and Rekatap's?
Yeah, we brought them their ship.
Oh.
What's up?
They wave at you. Getting closer to them, they don't seem that scared of you. They are a little bit shy around you, but when you get closer, you can see an ardent face, or what kind of looks like it. it looks like a smaller, scrawnier, more pathetic Ardent.
My people.
And they're inside of they're inside of one of those like heat suits. Like it's those like shiny metallic heat suits, and it's like a full body one, and like everybody's wearing those because it is hot in here.
Hey, those are some nice digs. They're kind of like my Forever War cloak. Don't worry, it's not for you.
The person just kind of looks like you use.
I like the idea that they're like
that.
Yeah, they're like. Did you just say Forever War?
Yeah, like
I can't mean that.
The person just kind of looks at you and just nods slowly and starts yelling back in an unknown language and motioning you slowly to follow them. Like, here, if you're here for Drock and them, they're over here. And you see like Drock, Illudan, Nikatak, and Rekatap all run like down the mountain as people are like calling to them. And
a superhero land.
Yeah, the four of them like take a dramatic stance in front of you and are like, you don't know how this is happening, but the light around them just like bends and like backlights them perfectly. Like they all look way better than anyone should. And the four of them are standing there in front of you.
Hey, did one of you all just use the whisper best foot forward? Cause you're doing it.
Yeah, they got epic hero lighting.
Yeah, definitely epic hero lighting.
Good. I like that one.
Nice. The Drock just comes forward. Drock, do you want to talk to Gomez here?
Yes. That's what heroes do. I hold my hand out to this sharp-looking, mid-chest-faced-looking, soot-covered being.
They're clearly an Ectus.
Listen here, I don't tell you how to be a hero. Don't tell me how to misidentify the people coming out of the fire.
Fair enough.
I've been living with these tiny little masked Ardents for the past God knows how long.
And also your crew, which includes an Ectus.
Does he look like him?
I mean,
I don't actually know.
It's good to see someone from the outside finally. We thought the last wave that glimpsed somebody from the outside was just going crazy.
Yeah, no, they saw you guys too, and they just think they're crazy. What's happening here?
Oh, just your traditional tale of one side fights, and nobody knows who wins.
I mean, at least it's a proxy war, but it's a heck of a proxy.
The trick is everything's burning.
Yeah, no kidding. Can they stop? Can they just cut it out? That would be great. That would really help everyone out.
That's a negatory, sharp one. That would kill everyone here. There's hands on hips. Just, finger wag every now and then.
How many are there here?
Thousands.
Thank you, mysterious voice. There are thousands of people living here.
Thank you, mysterious firefly.
I assume Drock has been here a while and like talked to people, and he's learned that their whole culture is based around like pushing back the fire and to stop, or pushing back the verdancy with fire, and to stop it would be like culturally, religiously, spiritually, all of the lees against them, sort of thing.
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah, like it's so bad, it's unthinkable that they would like give in to the verdancy. Like that's just such a horrific idea. And yeah, there's thousands of them living here.
So we haven't had an opportunity to escape yet. But there's some interesting secrets hidden in this post-pre-verdancy village.
I mean, I do like secrets. Oh, by the way, we found your ship.
How is the small girl?
She's a bit bigger now.
You can't say that.
I can and I will.
We gave her something to remember us by. You know, by, like, another ship.
Did we get the ship pregnant?
Oh.
That's a talk for another time.
When two ships love each other very much.
Yes. It's full of bees. I mean, what is that if not love?
Confusion crosses my face. Bees. It was... What do you mean, bees? What have you done to my ship?
We improved it.
Did you at least... What about the medicine?
Yeah, we got it. That's how we, well, that's why I'm wearing my Forever War cloak. We found it. So I declared a Forever War against them. And, after we get you all out of here, we're gonna go see to that.
Does Rekatap notice the jacket, the coat?
Yeah. Rekatap, you can be here, and Nikatap, you can be here too if you want.
Am I also here?
Also, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like everybody on the B team, Illuden, Rekatap, and Nikatap, you can all be here too if you want.
I've just been stuck in the perma pose since we landed. Listening.
Yes.
I don't have teeth, but smiling. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So yeah, mission accomplished. Part 1. So how do we... I guess you guys can't just walk through fire.
I mean, I could try. I don't want to, though.
I just picture Elodin like walking towards it, getting burnt, and then turning around. I cannot.
I have tried now. It did not work. Just go fall around someone's.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a little thing here because you guys are fumbling because I didn't prep much on this. You, the four of you heroes, you know, like there's something here. A, you can't get out through the fire, so that's not going to work. And B, there's something here that you want to investigate more. So your goal, I guess, in this kind of player dialogue is to kind of tell Gomez that he's good to go, keep doing their thing, or whatever you guys want to do, but you guys want to stay. You need to convince Gomez to let you stay, basically.
Okay.
Gomez, you have to take care of the boat. We have to stay here.
Direction to the point, my friend. I appreciate that.
The most gravitas Chelicrae that ever lived.
Gomez says, "Oh, all right, twist my arm. I guess have fun."
Got a multitude of voices for radio.
One problem. I know a certain someone who's not gonna be happy with that decision.
It's okay. I think the ship can take it.
Well, I know the ship can take it. The ship's a hardy ship.
Raises eyebrow.
Spicy.
We are safe, and we will find our own way out whenever we wish.
Really?
But for now, the secrets...
I mean,
secrets
aha!
The world requires our powers.
The secrets here require our attention, and we are comfortable knowing that you are out there to take care of the evils that remain. For now. Just know that we will be there when you need us at your utmost need.
We will? haha!
In your darkest hour, turn your faces to the dawn and east.
And be worried, because that means they failed to stop the fire and is spreading rapidly across the plants.
They told me to look towards the dawn. I've been staring at the sun for like 20 minutes.
It's not the dawn anymore, it's noon!
I'm still looking and my eyes hurt so much.
I don't even have eyes!
Just kidding. Just kidding, I'm a plant. I love the sun.
It's like that cat. It's not even blinking, Ma. It's just staring.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I remember that. Get out of here, cat.
But it's like heroes do, we let them know that we passing the banner mantle onto them. They've done very great things, and we will join them at a future time once the secrets here have been uncovered.
Have a lollipop.
All right. Well, hey, next time you get a chance, can you send that as a letter? You know, through the post ghost.
Here's
just
a new notebook with all we know from what we've learned and all we know from before, specifically about the factions.
And here's a giant fire that I can't get that notebook through.
Can you put the notebook in like a pocket in the coat?
You can take the notebook, put it in a pocket, and it'll come out with the singed tag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I can fix that.
There you go.
That's all the records of what we've encountered below and above, and in our time here.
Including this crocodile.
Yeah, there's a crocodile beside them.
Just kind of hanging out.
It's on a leash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to think it's like a harness. Little crocodile.
Yeah.
Harness
Yeah.
itself
I
is
imagine,
slightly glowing and generating a little bit of mist that's covering the crocodile, preventing it from drying out in this climate.
Have you? Aww.
Perfect.
But have you seen like cats on like a leash harness?
Yes.
We have one.
That's what I'm picturing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Amazing.
It's so good.
It also occasionally does the thing that cats do, where it just or dogs do, where it just like flops down and refuses to move, and it's like, just drag me. Yeah.
How can there be any like conveyance of information to like set up communication between the two sides, so like neither side kills each other?
No, this is a forever war.
No.
Here's two
Like,
cans
just
and
no
some
way.
string.
I mean, maybe in season 2 that can be like Drock's mission, but there's not enough time right now to solve a forever war.
Do any of the other heroes have advice for the future endeavors of our bow breakers?
Live, laugh, love.
Gomez will ask to like talk to some of them. Actually, Gomez will ask if he can get like a primer on their language, so that when he comes back, he can like be a little more ready to talk to them.
Yeah, the one that was translating for you guys, or that was learning language from you, Drock, he kind of looks, or they kind of look surprised, because you can't really tell male or female behind the glass too much, like it's fogged up. And they look at you and go, You want to learn our language? Oh, okay. And they bring you a book, and they're like, "This is the best we got," and it's just a dictionary. It's an old dictionary.
We're talking Webster, Merriam. What are we doing?
I don't know, Webster. Fine.
Put some effort into it.
It's
definitely brushing up on my grandiloquence.
It's a plebster dictionary.
Yeah.
Webster.
Yeah. So,
It's actually
like you.
dictionary.
That's such a 2-cent joke, but I love it.
Nice. Yeah, it's a plebster dictionary. Amazing. Yeah. Yeah, they hand you a dictionary, and it'll also come out with the singed tag on it. But
Plebster is in Urban Dictionary, in case anyone wants to know. And Plebster Dictionary is men's street style, well-dressed men, something, something, something.
Interesting.
The
more you know.
High Sea Adventures.
Yeah, so Gomez, just as you're taking the dictionary from them, I assume you started climbing back up, and we're on the scaffolding, and you guys were talking about this area and yada yada yada, describing kind of some of the stuff Drock has learnt before you go back, and Illidan's learnt, and Nikatak and Repetap have learnt. And just as you guys were discussing, and you were kind of debating whether you should even stay the night or something here, and learn a few more things before you go home. Zitsi Yaku's torrent of water comes in as this spray of water just kind of creates a mist and almost like rainbows reflecting in the air as it actually breaks through and into here, as it sprays everything in here with a little bit of water. And this is your moment to go. It's now or never.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, he does.
Yeah, you leave, and Zitzi and Jisun and Rook, you guys and the entire everybody fighting the fires on the other side see Gomez heroically running out as the torrent of water slows down, and the fire immediately flares back as noon sun heats up the fire and pushes the fire back to even farther than before you guys started.
So, task failed successfully.
Cool, guys, don't look at explosions. Let's go.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we do.
Yeah, we grab onto him. We
hightail it out.
Hightail it out of there before it decides to consume our flesh and our bones, and maybe our even very souls.
Yep, he's still wearing his face petting gloves, so he can grab your hands and not, pin them.
Nice. And I think that's where we're going to end the session.
So we run from the wall of fire.
Yeah, as you guys flee from the wall of fire, Gomez will tell you all about his journeys and stuff. We don't need to. Yeah.
All of that happened.
Yeah, exactly. That happened.
Drock said that we own his ship now.
Oh man, I can't wait for him not to see it. Otherwise,
oh no!
No, it's okay. I told him that we added another ship to it.
It just dawns on me for the first time that we would have to give the ship back. I remember being so adamant about it in the beginning, but that's my ship. God damn it! You can't take my ship from me. Oh my god!
We'll have to get them a new boat.
No.
That was so close. Oh wow!
No, he gave it to us.
Look back and I'm like,
it's ours
I may
now.
have been low key training the bees to hate anyone who isn't us and sting incessantly.
Oh, it didn't work for you guys? I guess we'll take it back off your hands.
Yeah.
I installed the club. TM.
Rook, I love it. That's such a good idea.
If someone else tries to drive heat up the engine that isn't me, or maybe one of you guys, if I tell them that they've got a sitter, then, stinging incurs.
I can only imagine the verdant lockpick lawyer just trying to figure that doozy out.
Amazing.
First I used my 2mm pick, and then I got stung by 10,000 bees. This lock isn't legal. Don't use it.
And in a hurry, he actually just goes through any door and ends up going into the stable. And then he's like, oh, thank God, the bees can't get in here, and turns around and sees, the steeds.
The steeds who are also housing bees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys take that drunken man and drunken Ardent and drunken old Ardent and bring him to another town on your journey, because he definitely does not want to be here.
Did we get a name for him?
He keeps to himself. No, he keeps to himself and doesn't like you guys because you terrified the heck out of him. So he basically stays with you guys until he can get on another ship.
But the kids don't break his tough, hard exterior, and it turns out he's got a heart.
What
of
if
gold?
we get the kids to give him muffins?
No, just the opposite. He almost threw one of the kids overboard at one point. He's not a great guy.
Okay, we don't like.
He's done. Yeah, he's done with being a firefighter. He's
was almost
seen
done
too
with
many
life
I
things.
get the
If he
beef
touched the
to
kid
carry
again.
off the muffin.
Yeah,
I'm really pushing
no,
this
that's
muffin.
fair.
We free him to deal with his PTSD in the wild.
Yeah. He goes off on another ship, and you guys don't need to deal with him. But it was nice that you saved him from this area.
Yay.
And yeah, I was Ian, the Firefly.
I was Austin playing Tsitsi.
I'm
Androck.
I'm Bev.
Oh, and Rock.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I'm Bev playing Rook and Illidan. Ah.
I'm Dylan playing Jisan, the Gao, and also making an appearance as Nanashi, the impeccable bread golem.
I'm Jonathan playing Gomez the Ectus.
And we are sponsored by nobody. Signing off.